Hey everybody, this is Dan here. This is going to be my very first video at my new channel, which is the back issue. You know me from being the Crow 2X, so I hope you continue to follow along here. This first video is not about attacking Hollywood rape, not in a direct manner anyway. This is a video review of The Avengers. I actually just got back from seeing The Avengers for the second time tonight. The first time I didn't get to watch it in 3D. This time around I did. I like to... The first time watching it, I loved it. I loved every bit of it. The second time, which really is a test when you watch a movie more than once to see if it holds up, see if it keeps your interest the exact same ways that it did the first time. And it didn't. So before I get into the good stuff, what I liked about it, which I'm sure most of you want to hear, I'd at least like to clear the air a little bit with what I didn't like so much about watching it the second time. For the most part, my main gripe with it is the fact that there is absolutely zero character development. I actually have a friend who's a big fan of the Avengers and Marvel in general who pointed out to me that it is a lot like the comics, where there's no character development, there's too many characters going on the screen, and or on a panel in the comic world, yes. And I agreed, it absolutely is, but what you have to look at is not only is there that many characters on a panel, but when it comes to the movie, you have Robert Downey Jr., you have Tom Hiddleston, you have Mark, Ruffalo, Scarlett Johansson, Chris Hemsworth, Nick Fury, Colby Smulders. I know she's only a small part. Then you have Clark Gregg. You just have all these people on screen at once. A whole lot of ego. And of course, Hawkeye Jeremy Renner, which is kind of what I want to get into a little bit. You have all these people that are getting paid to be on screen, and they do for what it's worth, they do a good job. The issue is, what I was thinking of was, I was looking at the box office numbers from opening weekend and internationally. Of course, it opened internationally earlier than it did domestically in North America. So they had a head start on it, but whatever the case, we have these domestic international numbers that are insanely unheard of, and still building traction, still gaining money, and which is great. I'm glad to see a comic book movie doing business. But what you have to look at is that this isn't the 80s. It's not the 70s, it's not the 80s, and it's not the 90s. This is today, where paper trade is going down the tubes, and we don't have the same people buying monthlies in terms of comic book that we did before. What we've been noticing, though, when I say we, I mean as a person, society-wise, and numbers from sales can show this, that it's after one of these movies comes out that people will go out, they'll pick up a copy of Avengers, Dark Avengers, Captain America, Thor, so on and so forth. Same thing goes with Batman, though. In the sales from Secret Origins came, regardless of how good or bad Green Lantern did, sales jumped from Jeff's Secret Origins for that, as well as other stories and other back issues from from the comic series. So what I'm saying is, these box office dollars that we see here, you get them coming in, and what you have to look at is the fact that it's not a majority of these people that are going to see the movie that are fans of the comic book. And even a section of that, you have people that might not have seen Iron Man 2, they don't know who Black Widow is, They don't know who Nick Fury is. They don't know what Shield is, or they don't know Phil Coulson. They don't know. They didn't see the Hulk or the Incredible Hulk. Maybe they didn't see Thor. Couldn't be bothered to see Captain America. And then you have to take into consideration that comic book enthusiasts, some people don't like Captain America or Thor, so on and so forth. So some people missed out on all these things, and that's the thing. When you're a comic book fan, you have all of these monthlies. You have Thor, and you know you get to read these, and then you get the character development, and that leads into the Avengers, where all these people are fighting together. So you know the story, you know the events going on, and this 15 to 20 page comic just it's bare bones. It's these stories culminating into this battle where there's no character development, and which is good for a comic enthusiast. You get to see what culminates in what. But in film, you have to take a look at who's actually watching the movie. When there's no character development, a casual film goer that doesn't know these characters gets lost in the dark. And just look at Jeremy Renner. This is where I'm going with this. He wasn't in any of the previous films, save for what I think it's like half a minute in Thor. He's in Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye is in there, and in this, for I think it's the first part of the movie, he's barely seen, he's barely heard of, and then all of a sudden he's there. The most backstory you get about him is that he had a mission in Budapest, and that has nothing to do with anything. So there's that, and the character development really is a huge gripe. There's a lot of fan service, so I can see where people like me, who aren't looking at it objectively the first time, they see these one-liners, they see the Hulk kicking butt, and then still in rage mode, he does a side punch to his partner that just helped him. Very comic booky. They see that kind of thing. They see all these one-liners, like I said. They see Black Widow being Black Widow. It's that the Avengers really is a huge fan service movie for people that are huge into the comic books and they want to see these things. And from that perspective, it was great. But as a movie, not so much. So, like I said, that's where my gripe comes in. The story takes way too long to be set up. It's great to see these characters. It's great to see a lot of Nick Fury, a lot of Samuel L. Jackson, because I think he's great. I think he's one of the highlights of watching that movie, actually, is to get to see what he does. And you kind of get to see a picture of where it's going with him. There's a moment of defiance where you can basically see the questioning of S.H.I.E.L.D. towards him, and it kind of sets up that mentality that's going on during Secret Invasion and Civil War. So there was that for Nick Fury. I think that's pretty much it as far as negativity goes, but those things really shouldn't be overlooked in the movie. The good parts about it were lots. The action scenes were brilliant. They were brilliantly choreographed. Every move was stellar. I mean, nobody stepped out even for a second. Like, there was a scene on the helicarrier with Black Widow, and she's just going through pipes and stuff like that, but she knows exactly what she's doing. I'd love to see, the making of that scene. Probably my favorite scene in the entire movie. And then there was, of course, the big invasion scenes in it, where the aliens come down with Chitauri, come down from the portal, and they start attacking and whatnot. And I do have to say, this time seeing it in 3D. The first time I seen it, of course, like I said, it wasn't in 3D, and there's a reason for that. because the 3D is done in post. It's, you know, just like a lot of them these days, it's taking advantage of the 3D trend where they put together the 3D in post-production. This time, however, it actually worked. You can tell that it wasn't filmed in 3D though, that it wasn't made for 3D, but a lot of the scenes in it were brilliant. A lot of things really do pop out at you. The first thing that I noticed really early on in the movie was the introduction of Loki in the film, and I thought to myself, wow, you can really see his nose right up there. Uh, so the 3D really worked well, and I think it's worth seeing it if you're going in the first time, or if you want to go in objectively like I did the second time, to actually have something new on your plate, not to have something to look forward to, objectively of course, and it really is worth your money. Would I see it again the third time? Pay when I see it again the third time? Absolutely not. And the reason for that is, while I was sitting waiting for the movie, to come up, you know, I was watching the trailers beforehand. Show that there's a lot coming out this year that is just more warranted for the money, and it makes me wish I didn't pay the money to see the Avengers itself. But I am. Like I said, it is a good movie. Uh, Kids will get a kick out of it, young people get a kick out of it, comic book fans will get a kick out of it, but casual cinema goers probably not so much. But like I said, looking at the trailers, there's Brave coming out from Disney Pixar. The 3D in that looks phenomenal, and I can't wait. I like anything with Billy Connolly in it, even if it's just in animation form. Frankenweenie, Tim Burton actually doing something original for once. I mean, I know it's not new. He's done Frankenweenie as the animated short prior. But then, of course, there's also Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man. The trailer, the 3D trailer, blew me away. Like the use of 3D for the filming, you can really see the difference in filming in 3D and post, transitioning into 3D. And then, of course, there was the Dark Knight Rises, and that new trailer gets me every time. So anyway, that's my word. That's my word on the Avengers. That's what I think about the Avengers. Take it or leave it. It is definitely worth a watch if you're a comic book fan, like myself. But it really is for people who have been following. It doesn't do anything for newcomers to the franchise. Like if this is your first outing at the Marvel movie, part of this, seeing a movie that's part of this Marvel universe, you're not going to really transition well. So you might want to hold off until it comes out on DVD, or go out, rent it, buy the DVD or Blu-ray, or even go on Netflix. Netflix has the relevant ones out there. It has, Captain America, Thor. And I believe it has Iron Man and Iron Man 2 on Netflix. Haven't checked. But, yep, that's that. And once again, I thank you for your time. Stick around, like, subscribe. It's right there where you can subscribe to the button there. See, this time I know where everything is. I just hope I'm not a liar when I say that. Thank you for your time.